Welcome to the Fall 2018 Student Presidential Debate. Our candidates this year are Noah Hofer of the Liberty Party, Raymond Gibson of the Freedom Party, Cullen Hegelson of the Patriot Party, and Isaiah Navy of the Populist Party. Each candidate will have an opportunity to give an opening statement. We will start with Isaiah.
Vote for me. I have the best interest for all the students in my heart.
Okay, go on.
Hello, fellow students. My name is Colin Helgeson. I barely made it into this election, but, don't let that mean you can take it easy on me, because I've got a love fight.
Very good. Remember, don't hold the microphones too close to your mouths. Raymond.
Well, as you can see, these fellows here aren't dressed too well. They don't really care too much, seems, so that should tell you all you need to know about this election.
And Noah.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm supporting the Liberty Party, and I'm not going to be throwing shots at people today. I'm just going to be stating facts, and support me.
Noah, why don't you keep the microphone? I'll ask you the first question. I have 4 questions here. Pick 1 through 4, and that's the question I'll ask you.
2.
2 it is. All of the candidates care about the school. What makes you different from your opponents? Why should the voters vote for you?
I can stand behind my actions. I'm not a phony. I can do it with power, not being I'm confident in what I do. I'm not shy about what these people do. You could even tell in their opening speech they were shy to come out in front of these people. And I can just come out with more power than they can and get stuff done.
Okay, very good. Raymond, question 1, 3, or 4?
1.
All of you have ideas that would make the school more enjoyable. However, the goal of high school is to prepare students for the next step in their lives. What would you do to prepare students for the educational challenges that face Brandon Valley grads after they graduate?
Well, we have in our Freedom Party is we're more for the students during the high school, so easier life during high school, so they they focus more on what they're doing. It's not all about, I have to this homework, this test, I need to study. It's, they get through the day easier, so they'll be more prepared just by that, just because they're focusing more in school and they have a better mental state.
Okay. Colin, question 3 or 4?
I'll go with number 3.
In these elections, candidates often make promises that they don't deliver. Over the years, the students at Brandon Valley have been promised open lunch and more parking, the end of semester tests, and yet none of those promises have materialized. Why should the voters believe that you will deliver on your campaign promises?
I think that past candidates for the presidency have been short. They think big, but then they don't actually go out and do that. I think they focused more on, hey, I need to get all these votes. It doesn't matter if this is possible. I just think that these are really good ideas and that this could happen. But I feel that I have the ability to go out and actually stand up for what I'm doing and actually go out and make it actually happen.
Okay. And Isaiah, school shootings seem to have become more frequent. What will you do to make Brandon Valley students safer?
Well, school shootings are a very touchy subject nowadays, like you said, because there are a lot more occurring. I think I mentioned this in my platform. We're going to have new school IDs that let you access into the building. So, when just me, being in a sport or trying out for a sport, the doors are locked on the side for safety reasons. And now with the school ID, you'll be able to get into the doors with your school ID and not have to wait for somebody to come let you in. I feel like that'll make it a lot safer because, not just anybody can get in because you have to have your school ID on you.
Okay. Isaiah, we'll start the next question with you. Isaiah, what is the worst idea on Noah's platform, and why don't you think it's a good idea?
Sorry, that was loud. I think the worst idea on Noah's platform would be the live school mascot. And I feel that because there are a lot of things that could go wrong, such as it getting loose and killing people or hurting people very badly. And, sometimes they might carry diseases from eating what they eat, such as mice and rats. Because as we know, mice and rats carry a lot of diseases, so that'd be a very bad thing if that happened.
Okay, Colin, next question is yours. What is the worst idea from Isaiah's platform, and why?
Personally, I think it has to be the new student IDs getting into the building. Because if someone takes that ID, there's nothing you can do to get it back. All you can do is go to the office and grab another one. But that person still has possession and is able to enter the building whenever they please.
Okay. Raymond, what about Colin's platform? What's the worst idea in Colin's platform?
I'd say his worst idea is the ordering coffee online. He says it would give students jobs, but it would also be a distraction because students would always be on their computers ordering said things, and then people would be coming into the classroom and saying, looking around for a student sitting there and then going up, giving them and most drinks aren't even allowed in the class anyway, so it wouldn't really work out.
All right. And Noah, how about Raymond's platform? Worst idea in Raymond's one?
The underground tunnels to walk in. I think it'd be too expensive and too long to make, and I think it'd just be a waste of money and time for that whole thing that he said he was going to do.
All right. This question goes to all of you, and then I'll just pick an order to answer it, but the same questions for all of you. Campaigns are oftentimes inaccurate. Are there any accusations or claims that have been made against you in this election by one of your opponents that you would like to respond to and set the record straight? Let's start with Raymond.
In a recent commercial, it was said that I was out to ruin students' lives, and in the Freedom Party we do the opposite of that. We improve student lives.
All right. Colin, anything that you want to address?
Not really.
All right. Noah?
The links, because they said the links was going to spread diseases and hurt people, and the links we would train wouldn't hurt or give people diseases. That's all.
All right. And Isaiah?
I'd like to have a rebuttal for Colin's whole spiel on the school ID. If you did lose your school ID or thought it had been stolen from you, we'd report it right away, and there would be logs that would tell when kids come in and when kids go out. So it wouldn't just be like everybody just goes, grabs a student ID. There'd be certain things that we would do or certain, safety precautions that we would take to be able to make sure that nothing would go wrong with the school IDs.
All right. One more question for all of you, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask each other questions. Of all the ideas listed in your platform, which one is the best? Which one is the one that you would give the highest priority if you were elected president, that you would try to implement first? And let's start with Noah.
Have a second to think.
Sure.
I would think the unhealthy food for the lunch choices, you get to pick what you want. It doesn't really matter what you eat. It's just people think you got to eat healthy. I think it should be people's choice. I think that's the best idea on my platform.
Okay. Very good. How about Colin?
I feel that the most important thing on my platform would be to get rid of semester tests for classes that don't have college on them. So that means that like all freshmen, sophomore, and juniors and seniors would all be able to skip semester tests if their grades are high enough.
Okay? Isaiah?
Most important, or the one I like the most?
Which one that you would implement first? Your best idea?
Since school safety is such a big thing, I'd have to go with the school IDs. Because, like I said, school shootings is not like, a joke or anything that we should take lightly, because it's been happening a lot around the U.S. And we can't just keep having our fellow students killed and not take, the necessary measures to make sure it doesn't happen here.
Okay, very good. And Raymond?
I say food truck Friday. Who don't like food truck, Good stuff.
Very good. Okay, now we're to the part of the debate where you get the opportunity to ask others questions. You can ask whoever you want the question, and we'll start with Noah. You can ask the first question.
Isaiah. Oh, that's really close. Why do you think it's a good idea to unblock Netflix and YouTube? And do you think that won't cause distractions in class, or do you think it'd be beneficial?
Well, going off of what you said earlier, people should be able to do what they want with themselves, such as unhealthy food. So, in that sense, using that same sentence that you had stated a few minutes ago, I think that it's the kids' choice to be able to do what they want during class, as long as they're not distracting other kids.
Okay? Raymond?
Cullen, you would like to have 6 minutes between classes. Where do the extra minutes come from?
Well, 6 minutes between classes only means I need to take 45 seconds out of each class. So, there's flexibility in our classes. Each class has started at the end. Have you ever sat in your desk just waiting for that bell to ring? You got 3 minutes, 4 minutes at the end?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. I was thinking about taking 45 seconds out of that 3 minutes from each class period, and I don't think that'd be a problem.
All right. Colin, you can ask the next question.
Noah, you wanted to add a speedometer into the parking lot, but let's be honest, people speed because they want to speed, and people don't obey traffic because they don't want to obey traffic. Do you feel that the speedometer is really necessary, or if it's just a waste of the money?
I think it would be a good idea, because if people are speeding, you could take away their parking passes. And I think people would definitely stop speeding if you took away their parking passes or fined them. So I think it's good.
Okay, and Isaiah?
I'm going to go with Raymond. A few questions about the same topic. The tunnel that we've brought up before, one of my questions would be, where would the financing come for that extremely expensive tunnel that we'd be digging, and how would you make sure that it would not collapse because of the structural integrity that it would take away from the street that is one of the busiest streets in Brandon? Because, we have 4 schools on that street, which would also put the elementary schoolers and their parents at risk when they drive on that street because of the structural integrity taken away from the street.
Well, in our platform, we have multiple ways to pay for things. One of them is the bi-monthly tournament. We have dodgeball, $5 team entrance, We had one of those similar in middle school, and we had a pretty great turnout, so I think we get pretty good, decent funds from there. And for your second question, how would we prevent it from collapsing and redirecting traffic? We would hire the best, when you put up the scaffolding and under there and you hold it up like they do in mining tunnels, or play Minecraft, but they hold it up well, it's their job. As long as they do their job right, we don't got to worry about that stuff.
Very good. Raymond, you can ask the next question.
Cullen, your platform, you have Vigorously trained hall monitors. Describe the training that they would go through.
Well, first of all, I just want to address vigorously just means like they're well fit and well strengthened, so they're able to perform their duties well. The training would be just like typical, I guess, police training. Like these people, they have to be prepared. People are running in the halls, and I think we need to stop that. And there could be thefts in the hallways. We don't know because it's either before or it's after class periods. So if the people in the halls, I'm not asking for like military training or anything like that. Just like basic, these are the laws you need to follow, and they need to know those laws.
All right, Noah, you may ask a question.
With the key cards again. Why do you think it's safe? I could lose one and I'd be going to Scooters and, getting a coffee, and some school shooter could come grab my key card and just run into school with my key card and shoot up the school. Like, would you be able to deactivate them or no?
Yes, we would be able to deactivate them, but with that hypothetical, it's highly unlikely that a random school shooter would pick up your school ID at Scooters and be loaded with guns in their trunk and ready to shoot up a school. I mean, it could happen. But yes, to answer your question, we'd be able to deactivate them, and it wouldn't just be, there would also be, you'd still be able to see them. Like right now, you have to click the Ring doorbell thing to get into the office. So you'd still be able to see who's coming in with the key card, but the key card would just make it more, easy to get into the school for us. Especially, you state champs, won the championship. Have you ever been locked outside the doors and you couldn't get in?
Never.
All right, well, I'm glad that's never happened to you. But
Isaiah, you have the next question.
I was going to ask you a question. I forgot. Yeah. We'll go with no again. Well, no, just kidding. I'm going to go with Colin. Sorry. I'm going to follow up on their vigorously trained hall monitors. A few of my questions were, you brought up laws being enforced in the hallways. What kind of laws were you thinking? Would there be a mile per hour that you could walk, or would there be a speedometer in the hallway that you would have to have, or would that be a waste of money, such as a speedometer that no one would want to put in the parking lot? So I'm just wondering, how would we enforce those laws? And secondly, would we pay the hall monitors as much money as the police officers are making in Brandon, since they're going to have to be trained the same as the police officers?
That's a very good question. Well, for starters, the laws in the hallways would be, the laws of the United States. Running, if you run into somebody, that's considered assault. So I'm trying to prevent stuff like that. Stealing, thou shalt not steal, it's in the Bible. And then as for payment, I do not feel that we'd pay them as much as the police officers. I understand that they are both going through police training, but one is on high alert at all times, making sure everyone in the school is safe, while others are just on patrol.
So you think they should be paid less than police officers, is what you're inferring here in this?
Like a 3/4 kind of, out of like a 4/4.
All right, Colin, you have the next question.
Alrighty. Noah, you want to input metal detectors into our school, like hallways and stuff like that. But don't you think that take up a bunch of students' time, knowing how much metal there is in backpacks these days?
I think we could set it up where you put all your metal through it quick. And I mean, if you don't have a gun or nothing, you ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, it's your MacBook, like your phone and all this, your belt maybe. You slide it through on the tray and they check that out. Then you go into school. I don't think it would take up that much time. I mean, student safety is just like a minute.
What about the students coming in from a free period? Like they'd have to leave, come back in and get checked, leave, come back in and get checked.
Yeah, I think that would be the idea.
You don't think that they would get annoyed by that. Like, they know they don't have anything. They just get tired of, I got to bring all my stuff over here.
I mean, if they have nothing, they have nothing to worry about.
Good point.
All right, Raymond, you can ask the next question.
Or Isaiah, your platform, you would like to improve music at dances. How would you do that?
Not invite Tailcott. I'm kidding. This is a joke. No. Improving the music. If you've ever been at a school dance, which I'm sure you have, with your dashing, outfit, I'm sure you've been asked multiple times. So I feel that when we make requests, we should be able to hear the songs, especially since we're paying to get in and we're paying the DJ technically with, indirectly we're paying the DJ. I think that we should be able to pick what we're listening to and pick what we're going to dance to for the whole night, like I said, that we paid for, instead of having it, completely child-proof. We're in high school and we're getting ready to go to college, and I don't feel that's necessary.
All right, Noah, you may ask the next question.
Isaiah? On your platform, it said we should be able to dress up for Halloween. And right now, we don't have any of your, security stuff. And so you're telling me some random person could walk up in this school dressed as like Scooby-Doo or something and just like go to class and people think he's somebody else, just sitting at an empty desk? Like, that could cause a problem. Could be like 30-year-old dude, like who wants that in your class?
So your question is,
Why do you think we should be able to dress up on Halloween?
because it's a good time. That's not a very good answer, but I'll expand on it. I mean, everybody, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people like dressing up on Halloween. It's a fun time. It's a good time to go around with your friends and do whatever, go to late night activities and whatever. And I feel that there are other schools that are allowed to dress up for Halloween. And I don't know if there are any instances that people could bring forth that would say that there have been school shootings because people were able to dress up for Halloween. Now, I do understand what you're saying, because now it's getting into a point of society where school shootings are becoming more prominent. So I understand your concern there, but I still think it would be a good time, and we'd still have the safety measures, or those, you said those aren't put in yet, right? Okay. We'd still have the safety measures that are already put in at Brandon Valley, which are the doors lock after the bell rings, and they don't unlock, till after SRP. So I feel those would still, deter that if that were to happen, and I feel like you'd still be able to recognize their voice or who they are. Nobody's really identical in height or looks unless you have an identical twin, and I guess if they want to come shoot up the school, that's weird, but yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Answer.
Colin, you have the next question.
That's a good question.
All right, Isaiah, you wanted to try to add fencing.
100%, yeah.
Do you feel like that's a safe sport? Like there's pointy objects, and there's like I've seen it. I've done it. Like I've done a little bit, and I've seen like how they have the mask on, and it's like you try to poke. But what if you poke right through the cloth? What if like someone ordered the wrong sword?
Who ordered the wrong? The school would be providing the clothing and the swords. It wouldn't be like just bring your own sword into the school.
Right, but do you feel that fencing is like a safe
Yes, I do.
sport?
It's been happening for like a while, and I don't think anybody's been decapitated or punctured by the sword through the cloth that was made to get hit by the sword.
All right.
And Isaiah, you have the next question.
No. How would you, or who would you hire, and how would you take precautions to get the lynx tamed? And even if it is tamed, it's not always 100% that it will not attack, because it's its instinct. So my question is, who would you hire and who would you get to actually tame the lynx and get it to 100% that it won't hurt anybody?
I think like a veterinarian. I'd have it declawed, just make it safe. Like, I don't see why you couldn't have a lynx. People own like raccoons, and those are some mean animals. And like, you could just do the same to a lynx. That's all.
All right, very good. I'll ask another question. This one will go to all of you, and then I'll probably do the closing statements after that. Yesterday, we had a unplanned, I guess it wouldn't be a fire drill, but a fire alarm went off. It was pretty cold out. A lot of people were standing outside for 20 minutes or so without coats, short sleeves. Some of the PE kids were, in their shorts. If you would have been in charge of this school, what would you have done to make that experience more comfortable, knowing that we can't go back into the school if there's a potential threat? Let's start with you, Noah.
First, I'd make sure everybody's safe and out of school, out of harm's way. And then I would go to the middle school, which it's really close, and there's a lunchroom in there, and we could all fit in the school. And I think that's what I would do.
Okay, very good. Raymond.
I think I would, as everyone is leaving the school, I would tell them to go to their cars or have a friend come with them if they didn't drive, because there's a lot of cars in the parking lot. So instead of walking all the way in that cold weather, they can just go to their cars, turn on the heat, just chill out until it's all good.
All right, Colin.
I think I'd have to agree with Noah and Raymond. The best way is to make sure all the students are safe and accounted for and comfortable would be either to bring them to their cars or to a close building that can fit everyone and keep them warm.
Very good. And Noah.
I would go with what Raymond said and have the kids go to their cars, turn on the heat, and like he said, if somebody didn't drive, then just go with your friend. So you're at least in a warm place, and you can just wait till you get a direction from one of the supervising people outside.
All right. I'm going to ask one more question. We'll just go a short answer here. But just to get a little insight on you a little bit, who is the person that you admire the most? The person it could be in history, it could be doesn't have to be a famous person, but the person that you admire the most, the person that you try to emulate the most. Colin, let's start with you.
The person I try to emulate the most, or like the most I want to be like, was Stan Lee. He started off small, he wrote comics, and but before that, all he did was draw doodles, and he just had ideas in his head, and he was like, maybe these crazy ideas, they might actually work. So he kept working, and for his whole life, he just kept working until finally, he got Marvel made, and then he made all these movies and all these stuff. So this one idea he had, this one crazy idea. And I thought that was really cool. So I've been just following him. I've been going off ideas I think are stupid. I just still go for them. Maybe someday it'll pay off.
Very good. Raymond.
I say my dad. He taught me how to get on that grind, get going in life. Most people don't start very high, start middle class. You got to make what's yours. You got to take what you can get. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and you don't want to be a cat.
Very good. Isaiah.
Does it have to be one person, or can it be a group of people?
However you want to answer.
I'd have to go with my whole family because they raised me from a rough beginning. Mom had me at 14, so it was just a whole family thing that we had to go through together. And I feel that I've gotten to a pretty decent place, at least in life, with the circumstances that I was dealt.
And Noah.
I've got two people, my dad and Ross Jealous. My dad, he got me my construction job to get that bread, worked vigorous hours, and he helped me through it all, taught me how to finish concrete and do my thing. And Ross, he's just been there for support, and I aspire to be helpful like him someday and a good person.
Very good. All right, so we're to the point of the debate where you get a chance to give a final statement, a final time to address the voters on why they should vote for you. Now, the election is coming up in approximately a week. Convince the voters that you are that best person. And let's start with Colin.
I feel that I could be the best candidate because I'm standing up for the little guy. Not everyone really notices all of what's going on. I feel that I'm most likely to go out and push to get things I want or things that I need, that the students need, and just all around, help students on like behavior and for just everyday life.
Very good. Noah?
Vote for me. I'm standing up for the littler guys. Like, he talked about the little ones, but that was little of him. And just vote for me.
All right. Raymond?
Well, Noah came out here in his opening statement and said he wasn't going to take shots, and then he proceeded to take a shot. So if he's not even going to be truthful out here, but I'm the only one that's left there, so vote for me, guys.
And Isaiah?
I feel like I'll be a very good leader, and I'll push to get things done, and I'm the littlest one up here, so I feel that I will stand up for the little people. And vote for me.
Very good. This concludes our fall presidential debate.